Hello, this is Anthony. I hope everybody's doing well today. I hope everybody can see me. I will bring up Jamie as soon as I can get the links to work here. 1 second. Customize. Let's see now. How do we do this? Jamie, how are you, brother? How
There
you
I
doing?
am. Good. Good. How about you?
Everything going okay?
Yeah, everything's great. Can you hear me okay?
You can hear me pretty well, right, Jamie?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? You can't hear me? I can hear you. You can't hear me.
Um, one more time, Jamie. You good?
Can you hear me?
Hear you. Okay, good. All right, great. Jamie, let's talk a little bit about what's going on out there in the world today and what's happening in the um, in the world of job search. Jamie, what are you? How are your clients doing? What is the world saying? What's happening?
Well, business is picking up. That's for
Let me
sure.
show
We
you a
got a.
picture. There you go, Jamie.
There we go. There we go. Well, things are picking up, which is great. Things are picking up in terms of more jobs showing up out there, on LinkedIn. And, I've been trying to tell my clients that they need to, explore outside of LinkedIn if they're not already. So, like, I'm seeing a lot of things pop up on websites like Indeed, ZipRecruiter, several websites. We're seeing a lot more jobs. Now, with that being said, unfortunately, there's a lot of companies that are posting what we call ghost jobs, right? Which we see sometimes, which is like jobs that are not meant to be filled. It's kind of frustrating how companies do this, right?
Yeah,
They post
and
jobs, they're not
I'm
filled.
telling you, what I'm saying, Jamie, is it's pretty wild because with all these sudden layoffs on the government side, people are getting pretty scared.
Yeah, that's crazy what's going on right now with all these layoffs and all these departments getting losing their people, losing their jobs, and all this stuff with going on the presidency and laying off people. I mean, I try to follow it where I can, but I mean, it's depressing sometimes. There's a lot of these great people who are losing jobs, and it was kind of just like they got the rug pulled out from under them. It's a scary time, but. I am seeing a lot of jobs being posted too, but unfortunately, I'm seeing a lot of layoffs happening too as well. So it's catch 22.
Right, and that's the story. Is this really is catch 22, and that's what a lot of people, a lot of people don't know. And the problem is that a lot of people really are not sure what to do because everything's changing so quickly on their end that things are just moving so quickly. But I wanted to go to the chat because I wanted people to see you. So now, guys, there are a few people here. So if you have any questions, please bring them up. But Jamie, how are your clients doing? What's going on with your clients in your world?
I'm staying pretty busy. That's for sure. I have a lady who just found a job as a project manager. So that's exciting. She's been looking for almost, I want to say she's looking for 6 months or so. And we worked together and I helped her with her resume interview skills. She just landed a project manager job. So that's exciting. But yeah, the thing is, I'm working with, what's funny, well, not funny, but like I'm working with a lot of people who are in talent acquisition right now, which is interesting because talent acquisition, you feel like, they're looking at resumes all day long, right? But sometimes you just need extra eyes. You need extra eyes to look at your resume. And some people just don't really know the best way to write a resume, right? Even though they look at resumes all day, they can pick apart resumes, but when it comes to their own resume, it's a lot different, right? So, I'm definitely staying busy. I'm doing a lot of LinkedIn sessions with people right now, people who want to optimize their LinkedIn because things are changing right now with algorithms and visibility, and stuff like that. So I'm helping people with their profiles, making them stand out. And, yeah, just like I said, I've been taking on only a few clients at a time right now because I want to make sure that the people I work with, I'm able to spend as much time with them as possible, right? And speaking of that, Yep, you just posted in the comments, on how to go to your YouTube channel, which is awesome to check out the things you're saying and the tips you're saying right there. If you're not following Anthony already, make sure you guys are checking out his YouTube channel. He posts a lot of good videos, and a lot of good stuff about job searching. And I see we have Brenda in here and Kira in here. Kira's in here, and Christy is here. Good to see you again, Christy. And then we have LinkedIn user again. I don't know who the infamous LinkedIn user is, but somebody's in here with that name. But yeah, no, just staying busy. And, I encourage whoever's on this call, I encourage you, if you want me to look at your resume and just at least give you a resume review, and you have an open mindset to career coaching, I'd be more than happy to speak to some of you and, talk a little bit more about your job search, see how I can help.
Jamie, just as you stated, my item that I put in the chat, I just put your item in the chat. Talk about a little bit about the discovery call and how much a great value that is for free.
Yeah, I can definitely do that. So whoever LinkedIn user is, they say that they've been busy interview after interview, making it to the final step, no offers. LinkedIn user, I don't know who that is, but if you can let us know who your name is, I'm curious who you are, because you're getting interviews, which is great. I just want to know who's behind that comment. So Julia's here. What do you say?
I checked that on LinkedIn, and that is Diane Mora. Diane is someone you talked to.
Yep.
Yeah, she's getting interview after interview. We talk a lot. She gets to the finals. And Jamie, talk a little bit about getting to the finals and not getting your job. It's so devastating to people. I can't tell you how many times people come to me and they're almost in tears because they got to the finals and they didn't get a job. Tell them what they should do if they get to the finals. Regarding reaching out, their final communication with the people. Talk to them about that. See what you get.
Yeah, when you get into a final interview, when you get a final interview, first of all, it's impressive. There's a lot of people who would love to be at that stage, right? So you got to think positive. You really got to go into that interview with the mindset of, this is my job to lose. And I get it. Like Diane's saying, right, that it's tough, get to the final step and no offers. But the best advice I can give in a final interview is that hopefully in the previous couple interviews that you've had before this, you've taken some notes on the things that the recruiters have talked to you about, things that are important to them, maybe any pain points they're trying to solve, things like that. And all you can really do is, when you come into the final interview, is you need to somehow find a way to bring up some of the things that you learned in the previous interviews into that final interview, because it shows the recruiter and the hiring manager that you paid attention, that you took certain notes on certain parts of the interview that you thought were important. And it really sets that mindset, right? Now, once again, when you get to a final interview, you can only control what you can control. It could be you against one other person. It could be you against other people. I've seen instances where there's nobody else and it's just you by yourself, and they just want to make sure you're the right person, right? All you can do is control what you can control and go into that interview and realize that you are the right person for that job, right? You have to leave it to the powers that be. If you can seriously say you got 100%, you gave 100% in the interviews, and then you still don't get the job, it might have been something outside of your control. It doesn't mean you didn't do a good job. I mean, it's frustrating to have to get knocked back down to the start again, but you got to remember, it might not be your fault that you didn't get the job. It could be that they closed the role because they all of a sudden decided that they didn't have the budget for the role. I've seen this happen. Could be they chose an internal candidate and they already had their mind fixed on somebody, right? There's a lot of things that play into your part, but the fact that you're getting that final interview is awesome. And it just means there's something's got to give eventually, and you're going to find that right company. I see Julia's in here from Utah. What's up, Julia? Steven's in here from Ohio. What's going on, Steven? I'm in the Midwest too, so it's cold. I'm sure it's cold by you. It's cold out here. Diane says, is it possible to be too positive? I think that's still Diane. So
yep, it is.
I think
that's
I think I talked to you about this. I think Diane, is that you have to level your expectations. It's okay to be positive when you get to a final interview, but until you have that job offer in your hand and until you're signing that dotted line, I don't even care if they verbally tell you you've gotten the job. I've had it happen to me where I've gotten verbally told I got the job and I got really excited. And then I asked for a day to look over the offer, and the next day they emailed me saying they were retracting the offer. It's okay to be positive, and you have to take the good with the, you have to take the wins. You got to the final interview and feel like you have the job and it's yours for the taking, but you just have to set the right expectation and realize, you know what, until I sign that dotted line and I start on day one, I need to just level myself a little bit and just take a deep breath and realize that what's going to happen will happen. And that's what you got to do, right? Because if you get too positive and you get knocked down, like Anthony, you said, it could be demoralizing. And, then you take a few days because you don't want to apply to jobs and you're frustrated. And then you miss out on days, you miss possible. It's just everything can kind of spiral out of control. And it's the last thing you want to happen.
Jeremy, I had a job in the past where I found out from my manager, maybe a year into the job, that he was told by his director if I had tried to negotiate the original offer, they were going to rescind it because they could. So the reality was, I've always said that regarding negotiation, I get very concerned when people are very tough regarding negotiation in the job search process, because I believe that once you get in, you'll set yourself up for a better success just by getting in, proving you're good and proving your worth and doing great work that you could do. And then you can work on getting whatever that extra thing you were trying to get was, because I've just seen too much where people have had offers rescinded or pulled, as they say, pulled at the last moment for various reasons. So I'm not a big fan of negotiation. Where are you on negotiation, Jamie?
So it just depends, right? Negotiation is a part of the job search process. I mean, I will say that recruiters and hiring managers, they almost expect negotiation to happen. They'll start you on the lower end normally because obviously they're trying to do what's best for the company, right? It's all about their bottom line, right? But it's really hard to answer that question because only you know your financial situation, right? If I'm at a point where I need to start working again and I get a job and it's paying me $15,000 less than what I think I'm worth, and I know that I really need to get back in the workforce and I'm bored and I want to start working again, I need to start making money and I can afford to take that $15,000 pay cut, then I'm going to get in that company and and it might be that I took a pay cut, but maybe the work-life balance is better. Maybe the paid time off is better. Maybe the benefits are better. Remember, salary is not always the end all be all. It's all about that whole compensation package, right? So you got to look at everything as a whole. I mean, if I told you that you had this job paid 15,000 less, but you had 4 to 5 weeks of vacation versus 3 weeks of vacation, that's another 40 hours of pay or maybe 80 hours of pay, right? So you have to look at everything before you make that decision. Now, absolutely, if you want to negotiate, you absolutely should. If you feel it in your heart and you feel like this is what I know I'm worth, I'm going to take a shot, I'm going to negotiate, and the worst thing that it can say is no, then you have to have a good case for why you're negotiating salary. You need to tell them what impact you're going to make and why you're asking for the raise. Now, like I said, you mentioned pay can, a deal can be retracted, an offer can be retracted anytime, right? I just think that everybody has to be a case by case basis, and you got to do what's best for you. I know if I need to get back in the workplace and a company's paying me $10,000, $15,000 less after taxes, it's really not that much, honestly, a year if you think about it. And there might be opportunity to get a better raise later on. I'm probably going to join the company, especially if I've been out of work for 6, 7 a year. You got to get back to work. People got to start working.
Do you find that there are common elements to scam related posts that you can help people with? Because there's a lot of people, like for instance, right? That I post a link to every person I see that's open to work. And I say, come to this LinkedIn Live event. We're going to help you. And, every once in a while, it gets somebody who says, hey, you referenced that you're not a scam. Well, because you referenced that, maybe you are a scam. So, I mean, obviously, I sit back and I count to 10 before I answer that question. But are there things that you can really have somebody look for to know when something is a scam up front?
Yeah, it's a good question. There's a lot of crazy scams out there, and I'm seeing people try different things all the time. One of the new ones I'm seeing is people who are making LinkedIn posts with a fake picture, obviously a picture they found on Google. They're saying that they're a recruiter or whatnot. They're putting the company name, and there's an option to add a link to a website. And what they're doing is that link to the website, they're putting 550 followers or 10,000 followers or whatever it is. And people are looking at that link and they think it's a real amount of followers that this person has. But in reality, you click the link and it doesn't go to that page. It goes to a broken page. In reality, when you scroll down, you can see how many followers they actually have. And usually it'll say 0 followers or 5 followers. So there's just another way that scammers are getting tricky. They're trying to make people think that they have all these followers and they've been a profile for a long time. And you just got to look at that. I mean, another thing you can try to do is look at, if somebody messages you, look at spelling errors, look at broken grammar. If they send you an email, make sure if they say they're with Allstate or something like that, whatever it is, look at where the email is coming from. And if it's coming from a Gmail or a Hotmail or a Yahoo or whatever it is, you know it's not a legitimate email. You just have to do your due diligence and look at things. And I encourage people, if you don't know if it's a scam, shoot me a message on LinkedIn. I'll be happy to look at it and just let you know what I think. I mean, I've done it for people before where I've traced where the email might come from or where the business could be and stuff like that. I mean, you have to be smart out there because all it takes is one click or somebody asking for your information. And now, you're vulnerable at that point. And let's see here. We got some questions here. Sergio said, hello from Mexico. I'm trying to contact the hiring manager after submitting my application to a position just to try to be considered before the automatic or ATS review. Do you think it's a good idea to do it? Absolutely. 100%. Yes. If you know who the hiring manager is, shoot your shot. Send them an email. Let them know that you're excited that you applied to this role. Let them know that you're really looking forward to the opportunity and you're excited to let somebody know, the impact you can make on their company. Worst case scenario, they look at the email and they don't respond back. Best case scenario, they reach out and they say, thanks for reaching out, Sergio. We'll see if we can pull your application and set up an interview. So yes, 100%. You got to do everything you can in your power to get noticed. So I like that idea, Sergio. Yes.
Sergio, listen to me. The 2 worst words in the English language are what if. You don't want to ever look back and say, what if? You want to go for it and let them tell you yes, let them tell you no. You control what you can't control. You go for it because you're the one trying to find the job. Never question diligence, effort, perseverance, or anything to do to get the job. You go for it. Brenda, let's hear what do you got with Brenda?
Well, hold on one second. I see Diane said something before that. She said she's sick with the flu. And she says that she wanted to still show up to her interview. They could see and hear that she was sick, and everyone said it shows that she's perseverance. She'll know by Friday. Yes, definitely. It does show you her. Obviously, if you still take an interview when you're sick, I mean, that shows that you're willing to go the extra mile. Hats off to you. Hopefully you do get the opportunity. Definitely let me know. Brenda says, do you think it's right if they ask your salary range and do an interview, then put you through 2 more and offer you entry-level pay? I, of course, countered, and they said, no, I have 20 years experience. They came back 2 weeks later to talk about the commission, but will not raise the base. So let me see if they ask you to do an interview, put you through 2 more. Right. So I guess I need more clarification on that, Brenda. Like, when they asked your salary range, did you gave them the range you wanted, and did they say to you specifically that was something that they could do, or did they just like kind of how did that conversation go? Because if there was transparency on both ends in that first interview, I'm kind of surprised how they came back later and did not meet the expectation and put you through extra interviews. So I need a little bit more context on that. But I don't think it's. I mean, I think it's right that people have to be transparent, right? So I think that you have to. I'm a very big believer of talking about salary before the first interview. letting them know. This is something I talk about in my interview session, actually, that I do with people. I tell people all the time that you should ask the recruiter before the interview starts and say something like this. You should say, yes, I got one question for you, Anthony. Since I know your time is valuable and I know that you're looking for the right person to fill this opportunity, and I'm looking for the right position as well, I just wanted to ask if you could let me know what you have budgeted for this role so I can make sure we're on the same page. You make it sound like that you care about them and their time, when in reality, you really care about your time, right? But you want to make it sound like you care about theirs, and that's going to really help you have that conversation about salary in the beginning and make sure there's no surprises later. This is great.
Yeah, Sergio, I'm going to go back to Sergio. Sergio, one thing, if you were the hiring manager, wouldn't you like someone that really wanted the job? Just put yourself in that position and say to yourself, what would I want? And if you would want someone to really care and want to go for it, you do that for the job that you want. If they don't want you, guess what? You're only looking for one yes, my man. You're looking for one yes. We don't look about rejections. We don't look at applications. We don't look at how many things you filled out, how many networking things you did. You're looking for one job, everybody. That's how it works. The number one. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Back to Brenda.
Yeah, sir, really quick, Sergio, too. You said that even that not all the people answer to my message. Well, if you don't message them at all, they're definitely not going to answer your message if you don't message them at all. So you either don't message them at all and you have no shot of them messaging you, or you message them and you got a 50-50 shot of them getting back to you. I like the chances of 50-50 better than 100% no. So let's go back to Brenda here. She said it was in the range. Okay. So, if they said it was in the range, I don't know how big that range was, but if they said it was in the range and they still gave you a base that was within their range of what they feel like was appropriate pay, it's hard to really say where that disconnect was, honestly. I mean, and at the end of the day, if you get an opportunity and they are paying you less, once again, you have to do what's best for you. You know your financial situation. Look at all the benefits, see if there's better benefits that can outweigh the pay deduction. And you just got to figure out what's best for you. And if you're at a point where you can say to yourself, hey, I got an offer on the table and I'm going to turn this offer down, I more power to you, because in today's job market, if you can turn down a job offer, that's great. That's awesome. If you have the confidence to do that. I know a lot of people that I work with couldn't really do that because obviously they're at a point where they need to work. But only you can make that decision for yourself. So let's see here.
Brenda, one more thing, Brenda. You could also take stuff meaning education, certification renewals, various items, maybe extra vacation, maybe extra personal days, maybe you get access to 401k earlier. Sometimes if they don't work off the money, look for stuff, because stuff may get you to a common place. Personally, I think they're just trying to see what they can get before they make the offer. They would not have come back to you 2 weeks later if they weren't really interested in you. Clearly, you're a superstar. Clearly, you're somebody that knows what they're doing. So your reality is hit them with a few different type of items to see if they move off of stuff. If that makes sense. Okay.
Yep. Good stuff. Jeff, all right. Jeff Kimmel, maybe it's Jimmy Kimmel's brother. I don't know. Jeff Kimmel says, hello from Pennsylvania. It's cold here too. Yeah, it's cold out there, but it's warm because you got your Eagles winning that championship out there. So congrats to that. He says, I'm looking at openings every day, and I see over 100 applications for a role within an hour of posting. How do I get my resume seen when that happens? So I try to tell people when it comes to, if you're not, hopefully you're setting up alerts on LinkedIn. You have alerts set up for Indeed. You have alerts set up on ZipRecruiter. Hopefully you're setting up alerts, and you really want to try to be one of the first 10 to 15 or 10 to 15 to 20 applicants, right? and I say this because, if you're the 100th person to apply to a role, the chance of your resume getting seen is a little bit tougher than somebody who was one of the first applications. I don't care how bad that applicant tracking system is, and if you get rejected automatically. If I'm one of the first 5 people that apply for a role, maybe I just tweak little things in my resume, like my core competencies or a quick bullet point. I'm not tweaking my entire resume for every job, and we can talk about that later, because that's the agenda that they want you to think that people tell you is to change your resume entirely for every job. No, you don't have to do that. But if you're the 100th person applying to a job, Jeff, the only thing that I would try to do is I would apply to that job and do what Sergio's doing. I would try to search for 3 recruiters. Search for 3 recruiters in that company, or talent acquisition professionals, or a hiring manager. And I would just try to send them, I would try to search for their email or send them an in-mail message. And I would shoot them my resume as well and just let them know that you're just pinging them because you wanted to let them know that you applied to this role and you're excited for the opportunity. That's all. And if you know who the hiring manager is on the requisition, then reach out to that person directly. But that's really the only way that you can get seen. The other way for your resume to get seen, this is a little tip here. Okay, it's a little trick. You can go to the company's LinkedIn page and look at one of their posts that they recently posted, and you add a comment to that post, an insightful comment, whatever they're talking about. And at the end of your comment, you just slip into that comment that you just applied today for this opportunity within their organization, and you're excited to have an interview and talk more about the opportunity. I promise you, somebody's going to see it on their social media team, and you never know. They might pass your information along to the person who's hiring, and now you've just jumped the line. So that's just a little tip, a little golden nugget right there I like to do. It's not a guarantee it works, but it's better than nothing. So that's to answer your question, Jeff. Let's see here. We got some good questions.
Also, Brenda gave her opinion too, Jeff. Take a look at that. To make sure. Now, Jamie, Brenda also said the application was in my range as they asked. I think I want to make sure you see all of her comments before you move forward.
Yeah, sounds like you did the right thing. It sounds like you brought it up. It sounds like they said that they could do what you asked for. And then, Brenda, did you end up getting the actual offer for this role? And did you turn it down, or did you end up getting a rejection email? I'm just curious. Did you end up getting the offer for this role? Please let me know in the comments. I'm just curious. Diane says ageism at 20 something, you can turn it down at 50, not so much. Yeah. Once again, it just depends on, it depends on your financial situation. I would almost say sometimes at 20 something, you can't turn it down, because when you're 20 something and you just get out of college, you want to start working. Maybe you got rent, maybe you got bills to pay. Everybody's in a different situation. Nobody's the same, right? So we just got to, but ageism is definitely a factor for sure.
Jamie, Mangesh has a question.
Let's see. Mangesh is here. He says, how should I answer the question? Are you interviewing somewhere else? Great question. So, Mangesh.
I got an answer for that, baby. I got an answer. You go first, Jamie. I got a big answer for that.
I was gonna say it's none of your effing business. No, but when I say, are you interviewing somewhere else? You know what? I'm curious. Let me see what people in the comments say about this. Do you feel like if somebody asks you if you're interviewing somewhere else, should you be honest and tell them whether you're interviewing elsewhere or you're not interviewing elsewhere? So if I have no interviews, should I tell them honestly that I don't have any interviews, or should I always say that I have interviews lined up? I'm just curious. Shoot it off. Make a sound off in the comments. But
there's only one answer, Jamie. One answer.
The answer is yes.
I can't believe how many people are calling me for interviews at this moment. Right. I sometimes have to step back and say to myself, what company am I walking into today? Because I got so many people that are calling me for an interview. Yes. While I'm happy that you're interviewing me and I appreciate you, when you ask me that question, I am stunned at how many companies are coming to me and coming to me fast.
Right. So, okay. Diane says, I'm very honest and say I'm actively looking. I would, let's see, if I am interviewing, okay, all here.
Absolutely.
Jesus has it right. I almost said Jesus there. I know it's Jesus. Okay. Jesus got it right. He says, always say you have interviews. And that's right. I don't care if you're interviewing. I don't care if you're very honest. Listen, life's not always the most honest thing you're going to say. But in this question, you have to always be interviewing. Interviews are psychological. You've got to get in the recruiter's head, right? You've got to stand out in the recruiter's head. If I tell the interviewer that I am not interviewing elsewhere and that, nope, I'm all yours, I'm not interviewing elsewhere, to the back of their mind, they're thinking to themselves, oh, you know what? This person might not be desirable. Why are people not interviewing this person? That could be a red flag. Why are we the only ones that are interviewing him? Think of it that way. That's a psychological thing. Now, if you tell them you're interviewing elsewhere, you might say something like this. Yeah, so Anthony, that's a great question. So I am actually interviewing in a few other places right now, the same type of role as this one. And I'm in the interview process with a few companies. But I will tell you this, out of all the companies that I'm interviewing with currently, I do feel like that this role that I'm interviewing for right now would be at the top of my list based on your company's mission and your, you can say whatever you want. You can talk about their mission. You could say that their commitment to working on this, whatever you want. You make it sound like that this is the role that you want and this is the one that's at the top of their list. Now, whether they feel like you're BSing or not is up to them, but it still sounds better. And they like to hear that their company is the one that you're focused on. So yes, always say you are looking. That's a great question. Who question? That was
Brenda. Brenda, let me make this very clear to you. You are being confident. You are being yourself. You are doing your best to stand up for what is right for you. I believe you're doing the right thing. The reality is, when they make it worth it to you in some way, you can start negotiating. But the point is, if you were to take this job and you were not happy, you're going to sit there every day going, why did I take this job? I'm not happy with it. I'm not happy about any part of it. So until you get to a compromise, you're not going anywhere, because guess what, Brenda? If you were to take it and not be happy with what you took, you're not going to be happy. You're not going to do well, and it's not going to work out. Go for what you need. Go for what you want. We build confidence, Jamie, right? We build confidence in this call. We let people know you didn't ask for this, everyone. You didn't ask to be put in this situation. So if you're in this situation, you go for it, and you go and you control what you can control. And then from there, you work on the process and you work on it on your rules and your skills. There is no right answer. There is what's right in your heart. That is your answer. So stick with it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And Jesus says, how do you balance the potential of multiple offers? Well, if you have the potential of multiple offers, that's a really good problem to have, right? I mean, that's a great problem to have, actually. Now, that the key word in that question is potential, right? Potential means you might have them. Maybe you do. Maybe you don't. If you have one offer on the table guaranteed, but you're waiting in the back of your mind, you just had a final interview and you think that you might get this offer that is better. Remember, the grass is not always greener on the other side, first off, okay? You've got to balance. And if you've got this offer in front of you now, you can absolutely let the hiring manager know, like, hey, would it be okay if I take a couple days to would it be okay if I take a couple days to look over this offer, make sure everything looks good, and then I can get back to you in a couple days? You can buy yourself a couple days. Don't tell them that you're waiting on another offer, because obviously that's the worst thing you can do, because then they're going to be like, okay, well, this guy might not be serious about our offer. What you can do is you could reach out to the other place that you had an opportunity with, and you could let them know that you are very much you have an offer on the table at this point, but you're not accepting it yet because their company's at the top of your list. You got to play the game, right? So you got to make it seem like you might want to work at their company. Now, if they give you an offer too, by all means, you got to make the best decision. You got to look at paid time off, look at that salary, look at how many days you're in the office versus remote, you got to factor it all in and make that decision. At the end of the day, you do what's best for you. You don't do what's best for the company. The company doesn't care about you. They care about themselves. They care about their bottom line. You do what's best for you. And I don't care if that gives me a bad rap when I say it like that. It's the truth. You got to do what's always best for you. So that's a good question. Thanks for that question. Sandy says, I would never ask that question that way. I would ask where you are in the process with other interviews and be honest. Okay. Well, if you still say be honest, I mean, it's up to them if they're going to be 100% honest with you, right? But I mean, I get it. That's a better way to probably ask that question than just to say, are you interviewing elsewhere, right? But that's good. That's a good, I like that, Sandy. Thanks for sharing that. Let's see. Brenda shared her story about countering. They wouldn't budge on the salary. She tried to counter the offer, and she feels good, and that's good. She said if they want to up their salary, let me know. You put it in their court and said, hey, you know what? I don't need your stinking low salary job. You up your salary and you sign me as a free agent, I'll join your team. That's okay. If that's Brenda, that's a very good confidence, and I can appreciate confidence. So I hope that you do find that opportunity that appreciates your worth. That's awesome. So Anthony sharing his. Go ahead, Anthony.
What I like to tell people in interviews, if I'm in the finals or if I'm at the end or if I'm in a place where I want to impress, I tell people this is the dream company. This is the dream job. This is something I've always wanted to have. I make it clear that I appreciate the company, the job offer, the process, everything, because to show appreciation can sometimes be the thing that puts you over the top. So don't discount appreciation. It's something that's huge. And I'm sure Sandy in HR would be very agreeable to that, because I'm sure she didn't see or hear a lot of people say things like that she wishes they did. What do you got for Kyra? What do you got for Kyra, Jamie?
Let me talk about Kyra in a second here, but I just wanted to say really quick here. I know you had asked me about my discovery call earlier, so we got a good amount of people in here, and I just want to kind of bring this up again because I do discovery calls for free, right? As part of my career coaching business, right? My company's called Jam Sessions with Jamie, and if you go to my LinkedIn page. If we're not connected, make sure you first off send me a connection request so we can be connected. Make sure you follow my page because I post job searching advice usually every single day. But if you're interested in career coaching and you need help with writing a new resume, or you need an interview practice session where we practice questions, or you need help with your LinkedIn profile, I offer coaching sessions on all three of those services. And it starts by having a call with me. So just like me and Anthony are doing now, this is how casual my discovery calls are. There's no pressure in anything. You schedule the call. I'll review your resume for free. I'll talk a little bit more about your job search and learn more about you. And then I'll tell you a little bit more about what I do, and we'll put together an action plan and see if there's an opportunity where we can work with each other. It's something where some people spin their wheels on their job search and they just need a career coach in their corner, and they need somebody who's there with them the entire time. And that's what I do. And that's why I've worked with a lot of people throughout my the 2 years I've been doing this on my own. So please don't hesitate to set up a call if it's something you're interested in.
Let me give you a little history of myself. I've been helping job seekers since 2010, when I had one interview in 13 months when I was out of work. That's right, one interview in 13 months. And I told myself, I will never let anyone else go through the misery that I just went through for 13 months. So I have been doing this for the last 14 years, trying to help as many people as I can through either my YouTube page, my podcast, my PowerPoints, everything, because it's horrible. Let me just tell you, everyone, you will not get any other LinkedIn event out there that is going to give you as much as myself and Jamie give you on a consistent basis, because there is a heartfelt connection with all of you that we want you to get a job and we want you to succeed. You hear it in the passion in our voice. So put your comments in there on how you like the call so far. But back to you, Jamie.
Yeah, yeah, good stuff, good stuff. So Kira says, I've been looking for my opportunity for several months. Some recruiters, hiring managers have asked what I've been doing during this time. Is there a right or wrong response? Feel as though there's a stigma for unemployment in the market. Well, yeah, of course. I mean, the wrong response is saying, no, I've just been sitting on my hands all day long and just applying to jobs and just hoping for the best, right? Like, I mean, people, first off, anyone that hasn't been living under a rock should know that this job market is crazy as it is, and they should know that you're hopefully applying to jobs every day. What you can do is you can tell people that, if you're not doing this, I would still say it anyways, but like, you should be taking, looking for certifications you can take, maybe taking some LinkedIn learnings, maybe just looking up different things, trying to find different skills that you can acquire and watch, believe it or not, watching YouTube videos on people doing certain things and how they're learning skills in certain industries and whatnot. Like, you should always be trying to do different things. You can also tell them, one of the things I recommend doing is trying to get out there and doing job fairs, networking events, fundraisers, volunteer opportunities, right? Try to get out there as much as possible. Anthony talks about this a lot on our calls. He talks about getting out there and joining events, right? Toastmasters, getting out there and doing volunteer opportunities where you can network with other people and pass out if you have a business card that you created on Canva or something where you can just pass out your information or like whatever it is, get yourself out there and mingle and meet as many people as possible, right? I would tell them that's happening too. So good question, Kira. Let's see here.
Jamie, also post on your LinkedIn profile every day, right, Jamie? One new post a day, article, something. Tell them, Jamie.
Yeah, that's something I show people. I have 2 LinkedIn sessions tomorrow actually, where I'm helping people with their content creation strategies and how to post certain types of posts. What's the best formats? How do you get the algorithm to work in your favor? How do you get more visible on LinkedIn? Things like that, right? So I help people with content creation strategies, and that's the best thing you can do is just post. Stop thinking in the back of your mind, how many people are really going to see my post? How many impressions am I going to get? Is people are going to look at, who cares? Who cares how many people see it? If one person sees it, that's better than no people seeing it. I don't worry about that kind of stuff. I posted something today about, what did I post on today? I posted something about people's LinkedIn profiles not matching their resume, which is another thing we can talk about. But I think I got like maybe less than 10 people who liked my post. Whatever. At least people saw it. I mean, that's what I want. I want people to see my stuff, but I'm not so fixated on viral posts and how many people see it. I'm just all about getting my stuff out there so some people do see it. That's good.
You're always going to have noise in your life, everybody. The news, CNBC, their various social media. You're always going to get pounded. Here's the reality. You focus on the following: development, visibility, making sure your profile and resume are complete and correct, networking, setting up career alerts on company pages, making sure everybody knows that you're looking, and rinse and repeat. Okay? This is not hard. This is about focus. This is about understanding your worth. This is about understanding your value. This is about having confidence in your skills. And this is about coming back at it every day. This is not, there are so many people that will tell you what not to do or how you're not going to make this or not going to make that. One of my biggest things, everyone, is this: negative people, dump them, get them out of your life, because guess what? They're taking your energy. You surround yourself with people who are supporting you. Remember this, everyone. You don't drown by falling in the water. You drown by staying in the water. So understand this, everybody. You do not let situations get to you. You take action, you replace anxiety with action, and you go, go, go. Go,
Yeah.
Jamie.
Good stuff. This is great, guys. You're asking some really good questions, and this is how we want the conversations to go. So
Well, here you
make
go,
sure,
baby.
yeah,
There you go.
make sure. Yeah, I know.
Advantage.
I see it. I'm trying to resist that question right now. I'll get to it in a second. I know what you're talking about. Okay. So yeah. So Kira, just by the way, I saw you sent me a message just now about you sent me a resume and want me to review it. I do that on my discovery call, so make sure you set up some time and just keep in mind that as much as I would love to review everyone's resumes, I try to reserve my calls for people, obviously, who are at least have an open mind that are maybe possibly interested in career coaching, right? It doesn't mean you have to sign up for my services, but you just have to have an open mindset, right? Because I want to make sure that we can talk about not only your resume, but how I can help you out. So please, yeah, Kara, get on my calendar, and thanks for sending me over your resume. Let's see here. Brenda says networking is key. There's so many hidden jobs. Absolutely. That's correct. Kira says she appreciates both of us. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. And let's see. Jesus says, I've been looking for 6 months now. I'm spending time looking for new roles, posting to LinkedIn, starting a consulting business. Congrats on that. Writing a book. That's it. That's awesome. LinkedIn learning and working on health and wellness. Yes, health and wellness is so important. And now that you have a little bit, some time to focus on that stuff, definitely take advantage of that. That's very important. Sandy says, what do you feel about the green banner? I just took mine down, wondering if I should keep it up or keep it down and only visible to recruiters. So good question, Sandy. We talk about this on every one of our calls, actually, which is good because I'm glad the question came up. There's a lot of people, Anthony said it, there's a lot of people who tell you what not to do, right? They say, don't put your green banner up because it shows that you're desperate. It shows that you will take any job that comes your way. That could not be farther from the truth. You said you took yours down. I would put it right back up because you're missing out. I don't care how many people say there's scammers out there who see your open to work banner. I don't care how many scammers are out there. I don't care how many career coaches like myself will reach out to you with their green banner asking if I can help you out, right? That's besides the point. You're losing out on those people who are searching for open to work banners that are legitimate recruiters, and they have no clue that you're open to work because you took that banner down. So you need to have your banner up, and you need to use your banner as motivation to be able to one day take it down once you get your job. And I wouldn't just keep it visible to recruiters unless I was working at a company and I didn't want my current company to see that I was open to work. I would always make it visible to everyone because you never know who's looking for open to work posts that's not a recruiter and could pass your information on to the right person. So yes to the green banner, yes to the open to work banner. Don't take it down, leave it up, and then take it down once you find your job. So
So while you're looking at that, Jamie, I also want to tell people we talked a little bit about volunteering. Volunteering is very key because many companies are community oriented. Why? Because when you're out painting the wall of a community center and you have the t-shirt on of the company you work for, and the 6 o'clock news shows up with a feel good piece, and they have your company's t-shirt, showing you helping in the community, how is that going to reflect in your company? Community work, volunteering, making yourself the right fit for a great company to show them how well-rounded you are is key. Get the interests on your LinkedIn profile. Get those articles up there. Whenever you take any LinkedIn learning, I don't care if it's cooking, gardening, I don't care what it is, you make sure your network knows that you passed that class. I don't care what it is, because if you're into it, it matters. It's part of who you are. No need to hide any of you because that's who they're going to hire. They're going to hire that person. So you know what? That's the person that you promote, and that's the person you project. Be you, because that's who they're going to hire. There are no perfect answers. Just do it. Go,
Yeah,
Jamie.
yeah, you're right. You're right. And yeah, lots of good information here. We got about 10 minutes left here. Jesus says, what's your thoughts about cover letters? Are they worth the time? I mean, I can give you the answer you want to hear, or tell you it's worth it. But for me, I think cover letters are an antiquated process, to be honest with you. I know when I worked for some big companies, and I wouldn't really name them. You can look at my LinkedIn profile, but I worked for some Fortune 50 companies, and I helped build teams from the ground up. And I know I was looking at a lot of resumes, a lot of applications. I didn't have time to look at cover letters because it was just another document, right, that I would have to look at. And if 50 people sent me cover letters, I'd have to go through 50 more documents, right? There's nothing that can't be said if you do your resume the right way and you have your accomplishments being shown on your resume and you show the impact you've made at companies and you don't just focus on your responsibilities, there's nothing that can't be said in my resume that can be said in a cover letter other than just some other sentences talking about, oh, I'm going to do this for your company. I'm going to do this. I feel like cover letters are antiquated. I don't really like them personally. I don't even practice them when I do my coaching sessions with people. I have templates I use, but I don't even really go over cover letters much because I just feel like they're not that companies will ask for them and they don't even sometimes look at them. It's just kind of like that's how our hiring system is. It asks for cover letters and we don't even look at them. So that's just my opinion on that. That's how I feel. I'm sure my HR people can talk a little bit about that. Maybe they'll tell you that they like cover letters. That's just how I feel. So Casey's in the house.
Jamie.
Casey's here.
Jamie, look at Sandy's post regarding getting scholarship money in New Jersey. It's pretty interesting. She talks about how you can make up to $4,000 by applying for educational scholarships in New Jersey.
Yeah,
it's
that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I don't know much about that, but I'm sure that every state has their own rules about that stuff. So like, I think it's important to look at all avenues. I mean, look at you're kind of encouraging me to go and look at what's in Illinois, which I doubt there's anything like that in Illinois because we just have a lot of debt out here. And I'm sure not just giving money away, but that's it's good if you live in a certain state. Look it up, find out what scholarships and grants and programs that there are out there and see if it's something that you can maybe apply to and get involved in, right? I mean, take advantage of what's out there because everything's so expensive now. If you can get any sort of free grants or money towards something, you got to take advantage of it for sure. Definitely.
Sandy, let me give you a little secret. Sandy, I'm going to give you a secret. Look for the projects nobody wants. They don't fire the people that do the projects nobody wants because that way they have to do the projects nobody wants. So in your new part-time position, you want to look for projects that are stalled and you want to look to get them moving and you want to show them that you're ready to go and you can help things move. Make that happen. Sniff around for the stuff that is sitting that you can run with because they're going to notice because nobody's currently running with it. Okay. Something to think about. Go ahead, Jamie.
Yeah, no. I was just gonna say I'm looking at Casey says she's in Illinois, so I was just trying to look at her profile. So she says she's in McHenry. Okay, I'm familiar with McHenry, Casey. I used to live about a half hour away from there, a little bit more than that. I used to live in Buffalo Grove, and then out by Round Lake area. So I'm very familiar with where McHenry is. So small world, pretty cool. I'm in Yorkville now, so I'm still in Illinois. I've been here my whole life. Sandy says, LOL, I will. Yeah, she says every county works very differently, but it's great. And she's taking a course at Rutgers starting Monday. It needs to be approved. That's awesome. Good for you. I'm glad to see you're taking taking stuff up. And yes, you put your banner back up. I love it. And thanks for sending me a connection request as well. If I can help you with your job search in any ways, please don't hesitate to reach out. Or if you want to just have a call, please reach out. Man, this is how I want this call to go every week. I love that you guys brought questions here, and had a lot of stuff to talk about, and got to see some new faces on here that I never see. So that was it was cool to have everybody participate. And we do this I think we're going to do this again in 2 weeks. That's what we're going to talk about after this call. But make sure that you are letting people know to follow me and Anthony, and look out for Anthony's event post, because we want you guys to invite more people. Anyone that needs help with their job search, invite them to this call, because it wasn't the original plan wasn't to do video like this and get on here, but we were forced to do it because the audio events went away, and this is how we like to do it now. So if you guys got a lot of this call, we want to see you guys come back, and we want you to come back whether you have a job or not. We want you to still join in and participate, but we want you to bring people with you that might benefit from this call. I think that's super important. So,
Jamie, tell them the numbers of the percentage of people that have worked with you that you in some way helped them to get a job.
yeah.
Give them numbers, Jamie.
Yeah, so close to, I would say, I keep a spreadsheet of how many people I work with and how many people have gotten jobs. Right around 85% of people, I think it's at now, that I've worked with have eventually gone on to find their next opportunity. And I don't pat myself on the back and take full credit for that, right? I mean, I am part of the puzzle when I work with people, right? But ultimately, it comes down to the will and how much those people are incorporating my coaching into their job search, right? But I do take pride in how many people I have gotten hired and helped get hired. I think that is important. And obviously that's why people want to work with me, is because they want to eventually get their next opportunity. That's, this is my passion. This is what I love doing. And Brenda says this was a great call. Thank you for both. Anthony says, we ain't done with you, Brenda. We ain't done with you by a long shot. Okay. So, but yeah, spread the word. We got 3 minutes left. If anybody wants to ask another question, I will say that if anyone saw my post today, I made a post about seeing people's LinkedIn profiles and their resumes not matching. Please make sure that your job titles on your resume match the job titles that are on your LinkedIn profile. Please make sure that you have any experiences that you have on your resume. Make sure those experiences on your LinkedIn profile. Don't leave it up to suspense to have recruiters try to figure out what's going on, because if they see any red flags and they don't see that connection and they see different things on both documents, you might not get an interview at that point. So just make sure that your LinkedIn and your resume are somewhat synonymous with each other, and you're not lying about one, you're not hiding things on either one. I think that's important to talk about. So,
Okay, so Jamie, give them a little final words, because it's really a grind out there, and people are very much having issues with staying focused. Talk to them about that in the next couple of minutes.
About what?
About staying focused and the grind and
Yeah.
how things can get you.
Yeah. So we mentioned this earlier, is that, it's easy to give up on your job search. It's easy to give up and say, to hell with it. I'm done. I'm not getting interviews. I've applied to 400 different jobs and I've gotten maybe one interview in that time frame, right? But you got to stop tracking those things. You have to stop tracking how many jobs you've applied to. Like, I get it. You want to keep yourself on track and you want to make sure you're applying to a certain amount, but you need to just stay focused. You need to stop worrying about the negative stuff on your job search, and you need to focus on the things that are going to get you the job, which is just the interviews and the applications, and then that one yes that a company decides to take to bring you on board, right? That's all you really need to focus on, is that one yes. But you have to keep at it. It's a grind. It takes an average of 6 months to find a job, is what they say these days. I mean, I hope it's sooner, obviously, but they say 6 months is the average. You just have to remember that if you start getting overwhelmed, take breaks, go outside for a walk, listen to some music on some headphones, play a video game, do some LinkedIn learnings. I don't care. Do whatever you need to do to get your mindset back right again, and then get back into it, right? But don't burn yourself out to the point where you start affecting your mental and physical health, because then it's very hard to overcome that once that happens. So,
but also too, Jamie, everything they do, make sure that you post on your profile when you take a learning or you do something like that. Post it so that people know. Okay, never underestimate your own greatness. Casey has final question, Jamie. How do you stay positive?
Are you talking about me personally, or are you saying just how in general do you stay positive? I'm not sure what you
Do
mean by K.
both. Let's do both, Jamie. Let's do both.
So I stay positive just by knowing, like, you know, I know this sounds cheesy, but like I know that no matter what I do, like God's got a plan for me, right? Like I know it sounds cliche, right? But I just stay positive by knowing that I'm more than a job title, right? If I wasn't doing this career coaching, and there's a possibility that I get back in the corporate world eventually, right? But I just know that I don't care how many rejections I get from people. I'm worth more than what some company sees in me. Like I have one life to live, right? I can find a lot of different things in my life that I'm proud of, and I can jot those things down in the morning. And I wake up in the morning, and I when I wake up, I think I be honest with you, I do practice gratitude. I think about the things that I'm grateful for in my life, and the things that I'm positive, like my daughter and my family, and just all sorts of things. And I don't let the other things that I can't control get to me. And if I'm on a job search, I don't care what those other companies think about me. I don't care if they say no. At the end of the day, they're looking out for themselves, and I'm looking out for myself. And I'm more than just what a company thinks about me, whether they rejected me or not. So that's yeah, that's just how I stay positive. That everyone stays positive in their own way. And Casey, I think you might benefit from just having a call with me, even if we don't do career coaching. I think it might just be a good change of it might just be a good change of scenery to break up your day of applying to jobs, and I can just have a conversation with you. I'd be more than happy to. Just don't hesitate to reach out, and we can have a call. Um,
Casey, Casey,
yeah,
listen to me. Casey, there's two things I want you to do. I want you to stay proactive with your bank regarding foreclosure. I want you to stay proactive with them and keep them involved with your search because they don't want your house. They want you to stay in there. So the reality is keep them in the loop, talk to them, and see if you can work out a short-term deal. Number two, how to stay positive in general, develop yourself. Do things where you're better off today than you were yesterday, whether that be education, whether that be volunteering, whether that be something that makes you a little bit better. Believe in yourself and continually do incremental improvements to try
guys,
your best every day.
guys, you
Good.
gotta you gotta put yourself first in every situation. I get it. We all need to work. We all need jobs. We all need to have money coming in, bills. I understand, but at the same time, too, you got to focus on bettering yourself and your health, and just all that kind of stuff, because when push comes to shove, when you don't have that health, and you can't do certain things, and then you can't apply to jobs, you can't do the things you like, you only have that one life you're in, and you just got to remember that you're not going to be unemployed forever. I can tell you that. You're not going to be unemployed forever. There's going to be a company that's going to see your worth. You might have to take a bridge job, a job that you're overqualified for. If you can find one of those, you might have to take a job that was not first on your list, but it might bridge to something better. So you got to just do what's best for you. Yeah, like I said, Casey, I know, I can see the struggle in the messages. I can just hear your voice, right? And I know it's tough. I know people who are always posting foreclosures and GoFundmes and things like that. But Anthony said it. You got to go to your bank, see if they can do something for you, see if they can. Companies understand, banks understand. They know that people are going through tough times. A lot of times they have programs and different things that they can extend things out if they have to. Let's see.
Another
Yeah,
thing Another thing you can consider is project consulting or short-term consulting jobs or temp type jobs because the reality is it's about income no matter how you get it. So consider some sort of short-term consulting, temping, something like that. That can work.
Right. Yep. Exactly. So, okay. Well, I know we've gone over here. I wanted to say thank you for everyone being on the call and for bringing a lot of questions. I think this was a record amount of questions we've ever had on this call, where we were able to just answer things one by one, which was awesome. Sandy, yes, having a strong network of people that will help keep you motivated is good. That's a good thing we'll talk about on the next call, maybe, about how you need to find a good support system with other job seekers and have a pod or a group of people that you guys can hold accountability for. I think that's a good thing. We'll talk about that on the next call. Let's see. Everyone says thank you, thank you, thank you. We appreciate it. Thanks, Julia, for being here. Thank you, Stephen, for being here as well. I know you're another HR professional, so I appreciate you jumping on here. Thanks, Sandy, for also being here. Casey, everyone, Diane, Kira, if I'm forgetting anybody. No, I think Sergio, Jesus, thank you guys.
Jesus. Yeah, right. Guys, we need you to spread the word for us. We've been doing this for a long time. I've had calls with one person, two people, or 700 people. I'm asking you to spread the word because what we're doing is special. You're not going to get this anywhere else on LinkedIn. Please spread the word and bring people to our next call. Jamie, 2 weeks. 2 weeks,
Yeah.
buddy?
Yeah, 2 weeks. And if you do get on a call like this, and there are a lot of calls where they try to do stuff like this, a lot of times they don't let you ask questions. They just talk the whole time, or they feed you some BS answers that you don't really care to hear, right? That's the reason why, I spend an hour every, yes, it's only an hour of my time, but this is why we do this every 2 weeks. This is why me and Anthony do this, because we're no bullshit type guys. We'll tell you straight up how things are. We don't try to sugarcoat anything, and we want to make sure you guys get all the the right answers to things, and that we are answering everything in the most honest way possible, right? And it might not be the right answer you want to hear necessarily, but that's okay. This is how we feel about this, and we're not going to feed you things that are BS, right? So please, yes, get on this call in a couple of weeks. We'll put the event page up probably in the next couple days or so, and make sure you invite people, and please set up a discovery call with me if you want to look at career coaching, or if you know anybody that could benefit from coaching. Let them know to come on my page and set up a call. I'm happy to have a conversation.
Everybody, thank you. Please watch my videos. The link is right there. I posted it. Please get the discovery call with Jamie. Please get my podcast for when you're walking, because I'm going to get you confident. We're going to make you so you get multiple offers, like our friend here in the chat who's talking about multiple offers, right, Jamie? Jesus here was talking about multiple offers, right?
Yeah, definitely. Sandy asked me earlier if my Peloton gets more use than her Peloton. I actually don't use this Peloton, to be honest with you. I just do like walking outside. This is my wife's, and actually it's collecting dust right now. She's got to get back on it. Shh, I didn't say anything, but yes, that's the Peloton right there. And Dominique says thumbs up. So yeah, I think that's good. I think we'll hit it up in 2 weeks, and let's get the event page up, and let's do it again.
All right, Jimmy, thank you. And everyone, thank you. Please spread the word. Our next events will be March 4th at 6:30 p.m. I'll get the invite up there. Please, please, please spread the word. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell your friends' pets. I don't care, whoever you want to tell. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks, Jamie. We'll talk
Sounds
to you
good.
then.
Take it easy, Anthony. Talk to you guys soon.
Always a pleasure. Bye.
Bye.